This is my video on my fantasy book for the class. It's The Miraculous Journey of Edward Tulane, and it's a fantasy book that tells about the life of a China rabbit. Even though the book has very sweet moments, difficult moments are included to give a sense of reality and to convey to the reader that life can be hard. The book relates to all children through themes like family, friends, and developing a purpose in life. Identity is also important in the book because Edward loses his identity each time he is passed on to a new family. They change his name and his clothes and give him all these new things and a new place to stay. But the main thing is that the family still love him even though he has a different form or a different identity. The major themes of this book make it easily relatable to both kids and adults because they relate to families and different life situations. So students might like this book for several reasons. This book is about Edward's life, or not all of it, but much of Edward's life, and in this life he goes through routines, meets new people, develops a sense of self, makes new friends, and develops love for his closest family members. Students would like this book because they can relate to every one of those points. Students from many backgrounds can relate to this book because all of these ideas are part of their lives, even in other areas of the world or different groups of people. They're universal experiences, so they are easily relatable. Students would also like this book because it's easy to read. It has a minimal amount of words on each page, and it's a long book, but the few words on each page would make it easier for someone like my mentee to read it. And it also has pictures to spark their imaginations and lead them into comprehension of what's going on in the text if they didn't already understand. Students might enjoy responding to this book, probably through several different ways. Students may want to write a short story about what their family members and friends do for them and how they show that they care and their journey in life. And for instance, a student could write about how they love their parents, but when their baby brother was born, it was hard to love him because they felt like something was taken away from him or them, like the love of their parents, and they realize they have to share and love the baby brother too. They also could compare and relate this book to the Flat Stanley book, which is like send Flat Stanley in the mail. So they can make a Flat Edward and send Flat Edward to their family members and friends and allow them to tell a story about what Edward encountered and how he was loved in their family. And the book might fit into a school curriculum because they could learn about modern or fantasy books and creative writing. This could help students, particularly in older grades, to learn to write more complex narratives and learn about different kinds of literature. As for using this book for the curriculum, I would like to know if I could relate it to geography and people, because although Edward did not visit far-off places like China or Rome or anything like that, the theme of travel is prevalent in this book and may be able to be related to traveling around the world or America. For example, when Edward went around with like the homeless man and his dog, it might be a great way to describe different places in America. Although the book does not mention where they went, they traveled by train and foot for 7 years and may have had some other adventures along the way. So my students could either make a timeline and show different places around America and describe different places around America, like cities or something, or use it to write a creative story about the homeless man, his dog, and Edward. Overall, I enjoyed this book much more than I was expecting to, considering it was about an inanimate object finding love. I could really relate the book to situations in my life, and although he could not interact with the people in the book. You could feel Edward's heartache when he had to leave a family or when the young girl died. The issues the characters face in the book are familial, love related, and overall, there's a sense of belonging to a home or somewhere. And Edward is involved in all of these issues, but other issues come up supplementing the main issues. Two issues I found interesting were abusive families and homelessness. I think that the way the characters led their lives through these events are inspiring and eye-opening for students, although I do feel a sense of hope should have been more prevalent with the little boy after he had to leave Edward at the shop with the old man who wouldn't let the little boy keep Edward. So overall, this book was good. It wasn't my favorite book, but I still really liked it, and I would use it in my classroom, but I don't know if I would actually use it for a group book discussion with my students. But overall, I liked it, and I hope you enjoyed my video. Thanks!